Welcome back to Cattlemen to Cattlemen. I'm Kevin Auctioner. This year, the Beef Checkoff published Lean Matters, a booklet that chronicles beef's 4-decade evolution to a leaner product. It's a collaborative effort between the Beef Checkoff, USDA, and leading research universities. Here to discuss Lean Matters are two people who were involved in the project, Dr. Keith Belk and Dr. Dale Woerner of Colorado State University. Gentlemen, thanks for coming to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Belk, I'd begin with you. Let's go back to the 70s and 80s. I remember that campaign, the War on Fat. What were the key drivers that caused the beef industry to really focus on the war on fat?
Well, for many decades after World War II, we had produced cattle that were pretty fat. I remember cattle when we were showing when I was young that were short and they were pretty obese. And starting in probably the 1970s, maybe the early 1970s, consumers started to express displeasure with the fatness of beef. They're becoming a lot more health conscious. And of course, foods that were high in fat content just were not satisfactory any longer. And so the industry initiated a campaign to remove that fat from the beef product and address consumers' needs and wishes. So for 40 years now, we've been working on developing new technologies that would improve the nutritional content of beef.
So what were some of the tools, the decisions that beef producers used to begin winning the war on fat?
Yeah, I think as we look back 40 years and the introduction of the dietary guidelines, we've seen a reduction of fat genetically and improving the genetics of cattle, introducing European breeds of cattle to reduce fat. Also some feedlot technologies and feeding cattle differently to different endpoints and using feed additives to achieve that as well.
Anything else that you would add, Dr. Belk?
We've done a really good job even at the packing plant level of the industry. The packers today remove all of the external fat that's on the cuts of beef that are then sent out as box beef to retailers. The other thing that's happened is there's a lot more boneless product offered for sale in retail display cases today. And so when you make products boneless, that gives the packers the opportunity to take more of that fat off while it's in the packing plant.
Now, I understand the project Lean Matters really chronicles the advancements and the progress we've made over the years. Maybe highlight some of the key elements of that report.
I think Dr. Belk touched on one of the primary ones, and that's fat trim. And at the retail level, we've seen fat trim decrease drastically, anywhere from a ½ inch, ½ inch, and now to 1/8 inch or even 0-inch trim.
Wow.
And I believe that has the largest impact on the overall fatness of the cuts, the overall nutritional profile of the cuts, reducing both total fat and saturated fat in the diet, which are the two primary concerning fats for most all consumers.
And why does this information matter? Why should our viewers be concerned about and interested in this whole research effort that chronicles our great progress in this area?
The most recent change in the meat industry from a regulatory perspective is mandatory nutritional labeling. This information resulting from the research that we've conducted along with Texas A&M and Texas Tech University has updated the standard reference. That standard reference is now used as the primary source for nutritional labels of single ingredient meat products. Dietitians, health professionals, and individual consumers use that information on the label and published elsewhere to make daily consumption decisions, daily health decisions, etc.
Any other benefits that you see, Dr. Belk?
Well, I think that this gives the entire industry an opportunity to market some additional features that are associated with beef. In 1990, there were only 7 cuts that were classified as lean by USDA standards beef. Today, there's over 38.
Wow.
And so that gives the consumer a lot more opportunities to include beef in the diet, but still purchase a product that's extremely lean and healthful.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm anxious to get my hands on that Lean Matters report. You can check out the USDA database yourself. Just visit the website ndb.nal.usda.gov. There you'll find nutrient information on over 8,000 foods.